All right, I am really excited about this lesson today. This is about the CAGED method, and we're going to learn all about the A form. So if you remember, the CAGED is C, A, G, E, and D, right? So those are the 5 chord forms, and you can slide them all up and down the neck. So as we learned with C, I just did a little recap. C here. C form would slide up to, say, an E, and play it like that. And there's scales and notes all around that chord that we can follow. So let's get with the A form. Here's A. A form is probably maybe the most familiar. So most of you probably know this is the open A chord. And now if we slide that up to, say, to make a D, we would bar it with these 3 fingers and bar the bass with this, and maybe even hit that high A, but probably not. You don't really need to. You can also hit the bass if you want. So it's, here we are at the 5th fret on the A string. That's the D note. A, B, C, sharp, D. And then we have these 3 notes here. Your D string, your G string, and B string. So that makes your chord. Okay? So you probably use that in a lot of, rock and roll. It's got a hard sound because of the first 2 notes are a 5th apart, do, re, mi, fa, so, and that creates a very solid tonal center. It's when you have your 1 and your 5. That's why the power chord is made like that. So there you go. That's kind of the main reason that the A form has that sound is used for rock and roll and power chords and blues, as we'll see later. First of all, have you done your exercises? Okay, let's do a little stretching out. I need to stretch out. I just picked up my guitar, and here's what I like to do. I call it the spider because it's like a spider on your mirror doing push-ups. Okay, and then we have the throw, right? You probably know that from previous videos. There we go. Yes, get stretched out there. You'll notice an immediate difference. Okay, so now what about the scale? Where do the notes actually come from? Well, there's a form, and this is going to be the same as the E form, but it's basically put your 2nd finger on the what's called the root note here, right? So we're playing a D chord. The root note is right here on our 5th fret on the A. And then it's really a pattern of keeping 1 finger to each fret from there, right? 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. And that pattern is found all over the neck, depending on what scale or what note you're playing. You can play it even just those first 5. Okay, so that's a D right there. Here's a D right here, an octave higher, right? So that's what makes the A. So the 1, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8. So the 5, 1, 5, and 8. And then on the B string, you finally find your 3rd. And the 3rd is major or minor. Excuse me. And that's what determines whether it is major or minor, is the 3rd. Here we have the major 3rd. Here we have the minor 3rd. So that 3rd here, minor 3rd. Minor 3rd's a half step down, 1 fret down. Kind of that Western cowboy sound. a little bit, or you can go with the Eastern European. So again, this is your E minor form. Now the E minor changes the scale a little bit in that you start with your first finger and you go 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. You can hear that kind of depressing, possibly. So it's also the blues. So you're playing the blues, right? You can actually, instead of barring this, you're going to actually just use this one, your third finger and your fourth finger, and then bar the rest of it. And that's the 7th chord, right? And the blues scale, 1, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. So there's your blues riffs. You can also take these 2 notes here. Here's a cool riff that's easy. You take these 2 notes, you kind of squeeze them, then you can either, depending on if you're playing a country song, you get kind of a train whistle. If you're playing a blues, it's a broken down Chevy honking at you. All right, so there we have the blues. So there are lots of things to learn about the A form here. It's very accessible. You'll find that in a lot of songs where you have the G, a D, key of G. Also it has a C and D, the key of A. We'll have the A, D, key of D. And reggae, reggae, rock. All sorts of things can be used right there. And remember, you can move it down. Someone says, hey, let's play it in G. Boom, let's just slide that A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You slide it up. It's easy to find where you are on the neck. I don't know, I'm trying to think what else. Anyway, that's your A form. We're going to have more lessons. We're going to work all the way through it. Next will be G, CAGED, C-A-G-E-D. If you're interested, I do have a course on the CAGED system, as well as a lot of other guitar. It's pretty much got everything you possibly need, frankly, in there. I think there's a link below the video here. So I hope to see you on the other side, and remember, keep practicing. Do those stretches before you play, and it'll make it so much more enjoyable. All right, have a great day. Thanks.